Hey y'all, Stephanie Andre here. It is so good to be back, and welcome to anyone new here and to all my old subscribers. What's good? And if you are returning to this channel but you're not subscribed, what's going on? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and like the video if you enjoy the content, because that lets me know that this is the content that you like to see, as well as it helps me out in the algorithm. You want to help your girl out, right? Today, I'm going to talk about 5 keys to hair growth. These are just 5 keys that I came up with, which I feel like will help most people, if not all people. We can't say all, but I feel like this will help most people if you hit each of these 5 keys. Now, these are more generalized keys. That's why it's only 5 of them. I do have another video that has tips on growing long hair. I think I have like 17 tips. I will link that down below as well as put a card above. But these keys are more generalized, and I'm going to just hit on them pretty quickly because I don't want the video to be way too long. But if you want me to do a video more in depth about any of these topics, just let me know down below and I will do that. But yeah, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me know if you know where that came from. But my hair is pretty long, so I feel like I have some experience on the topic. So if you want to see what these 5 keys are, then keep watching. Number 1 is moisture. You need moisture to maintain elasticity while preventing dryness and breakage. So under moisture, I have 5 bullet points, which, like I said, I will hit fairly quickly, but if you want more detail, let me know down below. Number 1 is to cleanse/clarify your hair. So you need to make sure that you're cleansing your hair on a regular basis to make sure you're getting out excess oil, dirt, debris, sweat, pollution, all of those things that get into your hair. If you're around, say, a smoker or something like that, or you smoke, you need to get that out of your hair. So that's one reason why you need to shampoo. It also helps prevent dryness. This helps prevent dryness because if you do not cleanse your hair on a regular basis, you can start to get buildup on your hair, especially depending on the products that you're using. So the products that you use in your routine does dictate how often you need to shampoo your hair as well as other factors. You could determine that in your regimen, but you do need to make sure you do that, because if you do not remove the buildup off of your hair cannot then receive new or more moisture. So if you're not getting that buildup off, it's just a coating on your strand and it cannot accept new moisture, so your hair will become dry. And that did happen to me before. I caught myself just co-washing, and this many years ago, and at a certain point I was like, I asked my sister, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why is my hair so dry? And she asked me if I shampooed my hair. And I'm like, no, I just been co-washing. She's like, well, you need to shampoo. And she told me why. And I'm like, okay, girl. And ever since then, I was not a co-washer at all. I very rarely do it now. I'm not saying that you can't, but it's just not for me. But yeah. Next, we have conditioner. Now, everyone doesn't feel the need to add this into their regimen, but I feel like it's good for me because I do this after I shampoo and before I deep condition. So it's good to condition your hair after you shampoo because shampoo lifts the cuticle and conditioner seals it. So deep conditioner can do that as well. But the reason why I condition my hair is I tried to take that step out to see if I was wasting my money since I'm about to deep condition anyway. So I just shampooed, then deep condition. But I felt like, because I detangle my hair, or I just do light detangles at every step of the process. So after I shampoo my hair is typically a little drier than usual because I am stripping my hair of all those things that we just talked about. So I like to add that moisture back into my hair while I'm taking my shower and then get out and deep condition, because when I don't, I feel like just going from shampooing to deep conditioning, my hair is drier. I missed that next detangle session, so it's not as detangled as it could be. I mean, I pre-poo, but you know what I mean? Like with your hair being just in a drier state from shampooing, I just don't like manipulating my hair like that, parting my hair with my fingers and putting on deep conditioner. I don't like to manipulate my hair when it's in that state. I like to make sure that I have a conditioner in my hair, I get that out, my hair is a lot more manageable, it's a lot more detangled, it's easier to get through, and that's why I add conditioner into my regimen before deep conditioning. Next, we have the biggest tip that I give for anyone trying to grow long, healthy hair. deep condition. It will change your hair life. It will change your hair life. Just trust me. Seriously. I do it once a week, but make sure you incorporate into your regimen however it fits or however you see needed. Once a week works for me, and it depends on the state of your hair as well. I'm just trying to maintain healthy hair, so once a week is good for me. Deep conditioning prevents damage, promotes elasticity, adds moisture, and restores shine. So it's very important. So make sure you know that there's a difference between conditioning and or a conditioner and a deep conditioner. Now, they're called two different things for a reason. Don't think that if you put conditioner on your hair for an extended period of time, that's the same as deep conditioning, because it is not. The ingredients are different. Typically, ingredients in deep conditioners have lower molecular weights, which allow them to penetrate the hair shaft deeper, so they could get in between the cuticle, layers and or the cortex. So it's really important that you have that distinction between a conditioner and deep conditioner, because they are different. Next, we have leave-ins. The purpose of leave-ins is to add further moisture and to keep the hair hydrated. Now, since they're designed to remain in the hair, they're typically lighter and less dense while still providing moisture, as well as preventing your hair from environmental damage such as sun exposure. Me personally, I enjoy leave-ins that have a lot of slip because they aid in detangling and styling. And the last point under moisture is to seal your strands. Now, you can do that by using the LOC method, which is liquid oil cream, which is what I use. You can also use liquid cream oil, which is the LCO method. And there's other methods out there, but whatever you do want to make sure that you seal in that moisture. There's plenty of videos out there, but if you want me to do one as well, just let me know. Now let's go ahead and get into the second key. So for the second key, you may have guessed it, but it's protein. The reason I said it is because we just talked about moisture, and now we're going to talk about protein, because you need to have a moisture protein balance to grow healthy long hair. Now, your hair is comprised of 85 to 90% of keratin, which is a complex protein. So you need protein treatments for maintenance as well as to help repair the hair. So you have different types of protein treatments. You have topical treatments that help protect and strengthen the hair from the outside. You have light treatments for slightly damaged hair, deep treatments for moderately damaged hair, and reconstructors for severely damaged hair. I incorporate protein in my hair by in my deep conditioner. So I'll use a deep conditioner just focused on moisture one week, and then the next week I'll have one that may be protein or protein and moisture. I have a couple different deep conditioners that I like to use for that. That's how I incorporate it into my regimen. I do have a video on the Aphogee 2-step treatment, which I will leave above and below. The reason why I needed to do that was because I wasn't incorporating protein in my regimen as often with my deep conditioners and whatnot. So my hair got like overly moisturized and was just really gummy. So I felt like to get it back, I needed some protein, and that helped my hair out so much. But now I rarely ever use the Aphogee. I don't even know the last time I used it, even though it's under my sink, because with me incorporating the protein into my hair regimen through the deep conditioners, that works for me. So just be mindful of the products that you're using, if it contains protein or if it doesn't, because you may not need a strong treatment if you're just incorporating it on a routine basis. Number 3 is to detangle your hair properly. Now, this is very important because I feel like this is where most of the breakage comes for most people, detangling. So whether you're using a comb or a brush, whatever the case is, make sure you're being very careful, you're being mindful, and you're not doing your hair, or you're not detangling when you're tired, when you're mad, when you're in a rush or something like that. Because when you detangle in those states of mind, a lot of the time you're just like, man, F it. And you just start going ham and raking through your hair, and you end up with a lot more breakage than you would have had if you took your time. Now, I definitely suggest finger detangling. I have a video on finger detangling, or how to finger detangle, which I will put in the card above, and I will link it down below. And finger detangling is very important in my opinion. When I initially went natural, I went natural in 2010, so I've been natural for going on 11 years now. At some point, I was finger detangling, but for some reason, I wasn't doing it right. I can't remember what I was doing, but it wasn't really working for me, so I went to the comb, white tooth comb. So at some point, I'm like, let me get back to finger detangling and see how that goes. So I got back to it. I'm like, let me figure it out. And I figured out how to finger detangle, and it helped out my hair so much. I did use well, I would use a white tooth comb sometimes still. And last year I bought the Felicia Leatherwood brush just to see what that was about, and I think it is so good. I really like that brush, but I still rarely use it. I still mainly use my fingers. The only time I use it is if I let my hair get so detangled and I feel like I need a fresh start, or if I'm coming out of a protective style and I want to make sure I get out all this shed hair and make sure my hair is fully detangled, I will use a brush. But before I do that, I still finger detangle first. So if you're married to the comb, if you're married to the brush, okay. If you want to use that, all right. But I would definitely suggest finger detangling first, because there's many tangles that you could get out in your hair with your fingers that a comb or a brush would just break through and break it off. So if you're going to use a comb or a brush, just make sure that you finger detangle first. And also with using hair tools, make sure you work from the bottom up and not up down. That's just a general key of knowledge. Just work from the bottom up, and that will help you out tremendously. Number 4 is to trim your ends. Now, trim your ends is as important as any of these other tips on getting long hair. Now, the reason for this is because it helps minimize and eliminate single strand knots, gets rid of damaged, broken, and split ends, and it also prevents or minimizes breakage due to split ends. Now, trimming your hair does not make your hair grow faster. Cutting your hair does not make your hair grow faster. Your hair is growing at the same rate. Your hair is always growing unless you have some type of medical condition or so. Otherwise, your hair is always growing. Getting long hair is about retaining that length. It's all about retaining it. And the way you do that is to prevent breakage. The way you do that is to trim your ends. And trimming your ends also makes your hair appear thicker and fuller because it gets rid of those straggly ends. Now, the frequency in which you need to trim your hair depends on the state of your hair. For me, my hair is healthy, so if I'm doing my hair and I see something that's split, I'll just cut it on the spot. But as far as a focused trimming session, I would do that about every 3 months or every 4 months or whenever it's needed. But I typically think it's probably about 3 to 4 months, something like that. Because as you can tell when you go through your hair, and if the ends are split, your hands could get caught at the bottom. And guess what? If you're doing that, combs are getting caught at the bottom, brushes are getting caught at the bottom, hair is tangling because the hair is split, and it's just, you don't want those problems. You don't want no problem with me. Hey, you don't want no problem with me. Hey, anyways, you don't want those problems. You don't. So make sure you trim your ends. And number 5, which is the most important of them all, the most important of them all that will help you out in another part of your life drastically, your health. So in saying that, I'm talking about diet and exercise. So your diet is extremely important. Say your hair, your skin, and your nails. In order for you to see the most benefit out of that, you need to make sure you're eating a balanced and nutritious diet. If your body is malnourished, your body is going to hold on to those nutrients to feed your organs and other vital functions that you need to survive. You don't need hair to survive. You don't need nails to survive. So those are the last places that those nutrients are going to go. So if you don't have the nutrients you need, your body is going to hold on to those, and your nails may become brittle, your hair may become brittle, and you won't have the healthiest head of hair that you could have. Because if you're eating junk all day and night and not drinking water, and you're wondering why your hair is not thriving, look at your body. Is your body thriving? If your body's not thriving, then more than likely your hair, your nails, whatever, isn't going to thrive either. Say if I'm drinking pop or soda wherever you live, if I'm drinking pop continuously all the time, pop, juice, whatever the case is, and I'm not drinking water, next thing I know, I'm getting all these breakouts on my face. If I was to ask you what I should do, would you tell me to go to Ulta or wherever and spend all this money on expensive cleanser, moisturizer, AHA, BHA? Would you suggest me spend all that money on that and toners and whatnot? Or would you tell me, stop drinking all that junk and drink water? Because it starts internally. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your hair. Yeah, external factors and what we're doing externally helps a lot, but you also need to look internally to make sure you're doing what you need to do internally to make sure you have the healthiest head of hair that you can. Exercise is also important because it helps increase circulation and blood flow. And with that increased blood flow means that more nutrients and oxygen are getting to your scalp, which is nourishing your follicles, which helps grow your hair. So that's why both diet and exercise are very important. Not only is it important for your hair, but it's important for your health, which is the most important, really. On this one, I forgot to explain what I do. For this, I try to eat a balanced diet, and I do take a multivitamin, a daily vitamin. I don't take hair vitamins because I just feel like that's way too much. When you look at it, and the daily value is like, it was like 1,000%. I don't know, but I don't feel like I need that. And with vitamin B, which is what biotin is, with the excess, you just pee it out anyway. So I don't know. I just feel like it's not necessary for me. As far as exercising, I've been going through a lot lately, so I really haven't been in the gym like I usually am. But before, I would be in the gym maybe about 4 or 5 days a week. That's what I do, but do what works for you. If getting beautiful long hair is a catalyst to good health, then whatever it is, so be it. But whatever it is, get to working on your health and stay there. Those are my 5 tips for hair growth. I hope they helped you in some shape, form, or fashion. If you want me to go into more detail about anything that I talked about, have any questions, just let me know down below. If you want to see any demonstrations, want to know about products that I use, or anything else, leave that down below because I do see you all's comments. For everyone who made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like I said before, all that stuff really does help me out. It really helps my channel, and I would really appreciate it. As always, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.
Original, puffing on me high grade, sipping on me liquor. Girls them a come, them a want, them a take her. Batman me a coming, me a wanna take her. Girls them a come, them a want it on the liquor. I steady sipping on my liquor. Then I tell her me she give her, never trust another nigga. I say she give me on the nigga. Say she feeling on the nigga. Say she run another nigga. I who's that baby?